your callers can give you a tribute. And the tribute is a bonus on top of your minute rate. So if job where they love you, they'll give you a tribute, and it can be anywhere from $5 and up. He would tribute me $50 here, $25 there on top of my minute rate. Started out paying, it's my first time. I didn't know. I kind of just perused the site. Other melanated goddesses like me were charging, and I charged 99 cents. Company does take a percentage of your minute rate, but it's still good enough. They'll tell you will make after their rate. I charged 99 cents. I got my callers. First month, I was like, oh, this is easy. I raised my rate.
Hey guys, I'm AJ.
I'm Shanique.
I'm Kazi.
So in 2018, we quit our jobs to travel the world and live a freedom lifestyle.
We wanted to share our journey with you.
So welcome to the family.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Shanique from FroFamilyTravels, and it's been a little while since we've done one of these, but I'm so glad to be back. I have with me today the amazing Taya, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what it's like to live abroad. So hey everyone, hi to Taya. How are you doing, Taya?
Hi, Shanique. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing busy. I'm a mom living abroad with 3 children, 5 and under. So it's a crazy here in Mexico. So I've been putting on multiple hats. My mom hat, my entrepreneur.
Wow. So yeah, let's dive straight in. So you said you're in Mexico. Where in Mexico are you currently?
Yes, I'm currently living in Meda or Merida for all you gringos out there. Merida. I've been here for 2 years. My family and I love it. It's me, my little girls, 5, 3, and 1. And we've had an amazing experience as family out here. And this is where I am. I plan to be here for a while.
So how long have you been in Mexico then?
For about, came down here during the pandemic in 2021, I believe. For a year, loved it. At the time, the COVID cases here were very low. Please down, so we still got out. We were able to do things as opposed to being in the U.S. I'm from the United States. We were living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time, and as you know, we were all quarantined. I was pregnant, and I was like, I can't live like this. I need to get some my life without these restrictions. And just according to my research, Merida was one of the safest places. And we literally, our lease ended in March, and I left my stuff on OfferUp, bought one-way tickets for all of us, and we unfortunately had to go back to my husband's hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, because so we came back to the States for a year, and then after that we relocated again. We're stuck on Merida.
So this is it. This is home for you guys.
Yes, we are definitely making Merida our home. Of the culture, we're very, very welcome here. I feel connected. I feel love just the nature aspect that Merida has. Tons of parks, tons of beaches and cenotes and things like that here. I love it. My girls are in a school where they're learning Spanish half day and then English the remaining of the day. Great. We're proud of our daughters and the progress they've made in this 2 years' time. My Spanish, I am bilingual, but you learn something new every day. And just making friends, community, and growing my tribe has been such an amazing experience for me.
Wow, fantastic. I mean, yeah, we briefly, very, very briefly visited Merida when we had to do, that's where we did our residency process. So we did get to spend a short amount of time. And yeah, we really did enjoy our time there. It's much bigger. That, you know, we were living in Playa del Carmen, which is like a tiny little beach town in comparison. So it's definitely much bigger than we're used to. But yeah, we love the parks. It's, you know, so I love the way that that Merida is structured, that it's so easy to get around, and lots of fantastic restaurants. And like you said, it's very family friendly as well. So I can absolutely see why you've decided to make it your home base. Amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One reason why we relocated here, because it was so family oriented. And again, little children under 5 years old. So it's important for us to have a country that's accepting, that has many activities for families. I like Playa. I visited Playa, but party area. It's kind of like the tourists are coming in there for the party. I love a good party. I'm a play girl with my kids. Today, like, are we going to the beach? Are we taking the kids? Like, that's my vibe.
I totally feel you. I totally feel you. Wow. So you said that when you first moved to Merida, you were pregnant. So did you decide to give birth in Mexico? What happened with your baby?
I actually didn't give birth here in Merida. I gave birth in the US, and our daughter's passport, we came. But I have many friends who have given home birth here in Merida and have also gone to the hospital to give birth, and they've amazing experience. It's affordable. The care that you get is amazing. You can get doulas here who are either from the US or go and help you through the process. And the biggest thing is that it is affordable. Yeah. Especially if you're paying out of pocket. Like, what we do is we pay out of pocket for all our visits, and even when I need to visit the gynecologist and things like that, it's affordable. It's not something that you're like, man, I'm gonna skip out on this because I can't afford it. It's like, no, okay, all three of these little ones gotta go to take them all, and we pay out of pocket, and it's no sweat off our backs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll second that. I'll definitely second that. Have the fact that I gave birth in Mexico almost 2 years ago. So yeah, same. I definitely want to mirror that response for sure. So take us back, because I know for us, you know, we were planning to leave the UK over the course of probably about 4 years or so. But you said kind of it was during the pandemic, you know, kind of this move happened. So was it a snap decision because of the pandemic, or was it something that you were already thinking of?
A little bit of both. I would say the first part is that we had already been thinking. I'm a traveler. First off, I'm a Sagittarius. Okay. So the adventure is just in me like that. The stars align with the adventure. But I started prior to all of this. I started my travel journey in 2016 when I got certified English abroad, and I moved to Bogota, Colombia for a year, and I taught English there. So after that was up, I moved to Changhua, Taiwan, and that was an amazing experience. But while, you know, I'm single and free and happy, I met my husband in Changhua, Taiwan. I met a dark and handsome young man. We were like the only 3 Black people at the time, me and teacher. And we just kind of hit it off. And ever since then, we've been. So we came back to the States because we got pregnant with our daughter there, our first daughter. We had her. We lived there for a little bit. The pandemic hit, and we were like, want to travel again. And my husband was like, yes, I'm ready. So I was like, where can about to have another baby. Where can we go? And one of my good friends' mother, she was Meda. She's a retired vet. And I spoke with her and she was like, hey, way to go. Like, it's safe. I have great health care. I have access to things that I wouldn't have access to in the US. You should come. And if you need anything, let me know. And that's all I needed. And she was, I got on the plane and it was so lovely too. So I'll let you hold my driver. And oh, you can use my personal assistant. You got drivers and personal assistants. Sign me up. And she did. And from that day, he took great care of us, driving us around, get money exchange, helping us move into our Airbnb and apartment. And we've been here ever since. Kind of started and sparked our journey here to Merida.
That is a whirlwind journey. That is, so you're like, how, and so where, remind me, you said, Colombia, Taiwan. So how long has this whole journey been for you of kind of living abroad?
Yes, so I've been abroad for a total of years. And I talk about that in my book, Merida Me. It mainly focuses on my experience here in Merida, but in the beginning of the book, I talk about my journey transitioning from single to having children abroad, because it's a different experience. It's a completely different experience traveling versus family travel. So it's been 4 years total. I used my teaching as a means for me to travel, because face it, I born into an extremely wealthy family where I could just travel at my leisure. So something where I could travel and make income. You know, I wanted to enjoy my life while making income. Teaching English, English as a second language was one lucrative way for me to. I've been doing that since 2016.
Wow. And it's interesting you mentioned that, because a lot of people, you know, especially because there's been a lot of changes with teaching English online, because China have changed the regulations in order to be able to teach online. But you still feel that it's something that people could potentially get into now in 2024?
Absolutely. Even to this day, our meeting, I've been teaching English online. The difference now is that I for myself. And I was in the wave of teachers where it was normal for us prior to COVID. So I was already companies, Chinese companies, that was extremely lucrative. The changes in China happened, I switched over to Korean companies. And because by the changes that were happening, switched over to Korean companies, COVID, the market became saturated. I'm like, all right, we have way more competition now. More students online is exhausting. What else can I do? So being here and just communicating with people, I noticed that many people wanted to lessons with a native speaker. So now, instead of working for a Korean company, which you still can do and make money, with my entrepreneur, I work on my own, and I cater to business owners. Now I'm fancy, a little fancy. Business owner. So if you're a business owner and you want to do international business, you most likely want to improve your English. And my slogan is English. So I help business owners perfect their English through a series of lessons, and it helps them to improve what their goals are in speaking English. So yes, it's very lucrative, no matter if you want to go online. I've also offered English camps for children where they meet with me for an hour, do some English games, some storytelling and things like that twice a week, and they love it. In many ways, you got to think outside the box, because the ESL market is heavily saturated. You can still make a pretty penny teaching English online or for yourself.
Yeah, but definitely sounds like you need to think more outside of the box, as you said, and not just follow what everybody else is doing, right?
Exactly. You gotta be creative. You gotta get your creative juices flowing and market yourself. You hey, this is what I can do. And I say, not only will I offer business English classes, but I'll come to your job in your office and we'll go over some things that you reports or emails from American clients or clients in the UK and you need help understanding.
Wow, wow, wow. Love it. Yeah, going over and beyond. I can definitely see how beneficial that would be. Amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Taya, in getting to know you a little bit, I'm starting to learn that you're a bit of a serial entrepreneur, and teaching English isn't the only way that you make money online so that you can afford this beautiful lifestyle, right? So you got to give us all the details. What else are you doing?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna spill the tea. I have a business where I coach mothers with children to relocate abroad. I'm biased to go and hit me up and I can help you through the process. So in doing so, that's one of the things that I do. However, for those, once you get abroad, you're like, how am I gonna earn income here? Like, money is just not falling from the sky when you relocate abroad. And no, you other unconventional things that you probably haven't thought of. One company that I started with them during the pandemic. Look, the pandemic just sparked a whole of things for me. But I worked with a company and still work with a company called yeah, you heard me, Night Flirt, right? And all of us I'm 30, and we all grew up in the era of girl talk. If you know the movie, you know. And phone sex and phone sex operators. And I know a lot of people were shy, like, oh, yes, I said phone sex. It's extremely lucrative. My first month giving calls with phone sex, I made over $1,000. And my husband was like, okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going here. And it's super easy, not as crazy as you would think. Now, yes, you're going to have to talk about, if you're not comfortable talking about it, this may not be for you. But if you're kind of like on the fence, how to do it, I can help you out with this. And sometimes you can get clients who are just lonely. Like, there are so many people out there, like, it's sad, but you can still make a bag off of that, okay? So guys who are like, no lie, my very first client was 19 and he lived in his mom's basement. And he worked at GameStop and he was too shy to talk to girls, but he saw his face, so I'm assuming he was not Black. But he said that he loved Black girls, but was too on my profile and wanted to talk with me. And we never talked about sex. I even sex, and he was like, no. He was a first client and a long-lasting client, and he talked to me through chat and through well. And on Night Flirt, what I really like is they give you your callers can give you a tribute, and the tribute is a bonus on top of your minute rate. So if job where they love you, they'll give you a tribute, and it can be anywhere from $5 and up. He would tribute me $50 here, $25 there on top of my minute rate. Started out pay, it's my first time. I didn't know. I kind of just perused the stuff other melanated goddesses like me were charging, and I charged 99 cents. Company does take a percentage of your minute rate, but it's still good enough. They'll tell you will make after their release. I charged 99 cents. I got my callers. First month, I was like, oh, this is easy. I raised my minute rates to $2.22, and I kept on going from there. So if you're open to it, if you're like, I think, let me know. I can coach you on some things and some phrases and words to say, how to get, how to retain them, how to get those tributes and ask for money. I'm your girl. If you're open to Night Flirt, let me know and let Chai know, and we can get you onto the workshop that we're having.
This is something that is so interesting, and I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and obviously because we lived abroad, we spent a lot of time abroad, so I'm always used to hearing about different ways of making money online, and I've heard about people selling feet pictures and you know doing this kind of thing. But I have to admit, you are the first person I've officially met that does this kind of work. But I find it so fascinating, like especially the fact that you said that the first person that you worked with, you didn't even have to have conversations about sex. I feel like people, like you said, the first thing people think is, I don't want to do that, and it's going to be all grim and horrible, and it doesn't have to be that way at all. And you get paid for having conversations. Like, why would you not?
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't get, confused. Don't get it twisted. Like, you will get conversations with sex because that's what they want. But I would say I've been there since 2021. I've never had a caller be rude. They always ask. Like, I get a caller. For example, it'll say, "You have a call from caller Big Daddy 60." Press the button, and then you press one, and then he's like, "Hi, so my name is," I'm not shy. You can go in and look at Versha. They're like, "Hi, Versha, race play." If you don't know what race play is, look it up. No. If you don't know what race play is, it's just role playing like the races, and race is superior than the other. For me, I don't do race play. That's not something I. So I usually say no, and they'll be like, "Thank you." Thinking to me, they're not rude. They're not rude at all. So I'm like, "Oh, if you want you or if you want this, let me know." So I've never had anyone be rude to me, and you can set your stand. Say, there's some girls who do video. Now I'm married. My husband is like, we're not going to do that. I'm like, okay, no worries. So I just do phone and chat. That's the only thing I really don't care to do is race play. But other than that, if someone calls, like, "Oh, do you do this?" and I don't know what it is, I'll be like, "Yes, I do," and I'll Google it, phrases, and we're on the phone, and I'm looking at Google, and I'm saying this and keeping it up. I mean, you gotta use your imagination and just have fun.
So you said that in your first month you were making $1,000 quite quick off the bat. So
Yes.
what does a typical month look like now? Because you've increased your rate, you're getting all these tips. What's an average month? What does that look like financially?
I would say for me, it varies. I stay around the 1,100 and 1,500 range. My tip is, and sometimes I forget, I leave my setting on all day. So when you go into the website, you can see where you can set yourself available. Like, okay, I'm taking calls from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., whatever. I wanted to get customers when I started, so I would leave mine on. And I always leave it on because I never know when I'm going to get a caller. And the majority of my callers are in the morning, like 10 a.m. People who are at work in their office who are feeling kinky. Because I leave mine on pretty much 24 hours, I'm able to meet my goals much faster than a person who's only working a set hours because competition is so high. So it depends on what your needs are. My needs, I'm doing multiple things, so I don't focus on night flirt that much, but there is a potential for you to have uncapped income. And I know that if you're in the States, there's different things that you need to do for filing taxes and things like that. If you make, a certain amount of money within the year, like 20,000 or something in a year, you got to file taxes on it. So I try to stay underneath that, for reasons why, no certain reasons why for tax purposes. But the one thing that I do love about night flirt, when you do get paid, it doesn't say phone sex operator, like, no. It's very discreet. It's very discreet when you receive your payment, so you can still have your dignity intact while you're getting paid to do this.
Completely understand. But so making like 1,000, 1,500, and that's only really doing the mornings. So if you were doing kind of full days as a
Yeah.
normal working day, you could be talking double, triple that at least.
The potential is up to you because it depends on your hourly rate. If you go on the site, you'll see that some girls, not hourly rate, but minute rate, you'll see that some women are charging $4.90 USD, $4.99 per minute.
A
And you'll
minute.
see some charging higher, and you'll look at their reviews. So it's not just about getting the call and never seeing that person again or speaking to that person again. It's to retain them. Repeat customers is where your business is going to come in. And the people read your reviews too. So other people will read your reviews. If they see that you're new, they're like, okay, she just created her account. Let's see what she doesn't have any reviews. Oh, let me listen to her greeting. Oh, her voice sounds nice. There's so many to choose from, so you want to stand out. So what I do, and I'll also show you in my workshop, is I'll show you how to keep your customers, or callers, I should say, and how to get them to come back to you. I'll give you a free tip. If you get someone who favorites your profile, you can send them an email for free. Now you have to make that email tantalizing. So much so that they want to call you. You gotta make them call you, because sometimes guys are like, oh, she's pretty, and then they'll favorite you and you'll never hear from them. The goal is to get them to call you. So you can send them what they call a mail. You can send them a mail in the platform, and you entice them to call you or text you. Even better, send me a text, or let me show you to spice things up. And it works. They're like, oh, I favored her and she reached out to me. I want to call her. I want to see what that's free game right there. That's free game.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I cannot wait for this workshop. Taya is leading a workshop next week for us. We are coming around fast. And I'm telling you, when she was talking about this in our community group, I had to run a poll to ask people, if they were seriously interested, because there were so many inquiries about it. And we had 40 people that were like, I want to learn. I need to know more about it. Tell me more. How much can I earn? So I'm like, okay, Taya, you just got to bring it all and share all the goodies, because everybody wants to know how to do this. So if you're interested, if your interest has been piqued, the link is going to be in the description for you to join the workshop next week. And Taya is going to be, it's not just a matter of setting up your profile and set it and forget it, right? She's going to be breaking it down, all the tips and secrets to, like you said, retaining your clients so that you can maximize your income. So make sure you join us. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be great. Even for you married ladies like me, or even if you're in a relationship, I always say, be honest with your partner. They may be comfortable, but they may not be comfortable. Like my husband was skeptical at first until he saw my first check, and then he was like, set that up. But they also have opportunities for couples where you can make more money. You can charge even more rates. You know what I mean? My husband declined it, but that's just another way for you to, make your money faster. And we'll talk about that in the workshop. So join us. Don't miss out. Like, especially if you want to relocate abroad, you try to be on the beach on Sunday, Saturday, and Thursday, and you work for the rest of the week. Come on. Like, what are you waiting for? It's 2024. Let's get this.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So what else do you do, Miss Serial Entrepreneur? How else are you earning your money? I know that's not just it.
No, it's not where my focus lies right now. So I did speak about how I am coaching people to relocate abroad, specifically mothers, because that's where my passion lies. And it's so difficult to travel and relocate abroad with children, for all kinds of reasons, safety and things like that. So I help women to relocate. And on my TikTok, I get a lot of people reaching out to me, wondering about a day in the life in Mexico with Black kids. What is it like? Do they like ninjas? All of that. And I'm like, yes, we're welcome here. At least I know in this place we're quite welcome. So I do that. And my husband, we have a trucking company in the United States. It's called LLG Transport Co. And that trucking company is, we have a logistics virtual call center. So my husband does the logistics side where he's on the road transporting materials. And I manage our call center where we have customer service agents from throughout the United States, and they're taking customer service calls. So I do a lot. I do that on top of being a mom, on top of being a wife, on top of trying to take care of myself.
Wow, 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 wow. You literally do it all. That is amazing. And are you talking about your virtual call center? I'll just put it out there because, as we know, a lot of people are looking for different ways to make money online, as we're talking about. Is your call center hiring at the moment?
Yes, my call center is hiring. I can give you the website as well. You can go to llgtransportco.us and you can register to be an agent in our virtual call center. Great way for you to make money while you're living abroad. It is 1099. I'm not quite sure how it works in the UK, but if you're in the US, it's a 1099, which means that you're a non-employee. You're not W-2, there are no benefits, but you do get to make your income while you're, working remotely. So that's something that we do. And we're juggling these things because we have 3 children, and our goal in the next 5 years is to retire ourselves, to retire my husband and to retire me. So right now, I know it seems I'm all over the place, but I'm really on the grind, securing my bag, securing our company so that we can give them to our children if that's what they want to do. And then me and my husband just sit back and let our money make money.
I see it. I see it. And you're doing it so beautifully as well. So keep it up. You're doing amazing. So, I mean, running this empire, this huge empire that you're currently building, what does a typical day look like for you in Merida as a family? Can you run us through what that looks like for you?
Absolutely. I know it sounds like a lot. I'm spewing it out and you're like, oh my God, this woman is just like, ah. But the way I have it, because everything is remote, I have the flexibility to say, I work on my call center only on Thursdays. Thursdays, I'm onboarding, checking emails, expanding, doing material. Everything that it takes to run my virtual call center is dedicated to Thursdays. If I am coaching, I have coachings where I help women relocate abroad. I do that throughout the week, except Thursdays and not on the weekends. And then also for anything else that I'm doing, I just kind of divvied up like that. On let's say today is Monday. It's outside of today, it's a Mexican holiday. But what my day would have looked like is I get up at 3 in the morning. I have some time. I know it's kind of early, but we go to bed early. I get up at 3, I have a cup of hot chocolate, do a couple of stretches, go to my email to see what I need done for the day, as far as if I have coaching clients, or if I have any things as far as the call center, in the back end, if my husband needs loads and things like that, I look at that. After that, my children get up around 6 or so. I like to make them breakfast and pack their lunches, get them in the shower and things like that ready. We walk to school, which is a 5-minute walk. We come back. My 1-year-old, she usually is sleepy by then. She takes a nap. My housekeeper, she comes on Tuesdays and Fridays to clean the house. Our niñera, or my babysitter, comes on Saturday and Sundays to help me with the girls. After my kids get home from school, we have family time. We either go to the park, we get ice cream. My 5-year-old likes to help me prepare dinner. After that, we'll watch a movie, what we call family night, watch a movie, eat some popcorn. Everyone's in the bed by 6:30, 6:45. I like to wind down, make sure everything is good, set out clothes for the next morning, make my calendar, and then I'm off to bed and we rinse and repeat.
Nice. But I love the fact that once your kids get in from school, it sounds like you've got that dedicated time to spend with your family as well. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people feel like they're missing, and why a lot of people are working towards moving abroad, working remotely to have more quality time with their family. And as busy as you are, you're still able to get, you know, that great quality time with your children and your husband. And that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. And I love that here from Merida because we have so many, and like I said, our schedule is packed. Yesterday, we went on a picnic with some of my children's classmates. We all, you brought picnic food. We had a great time. We spent about 2.5 hours at the park. Tomorrow after school at 6 p.m., there's a show downtown. It's like one of those Cirque du Soleil type shows downtown. It's at night. They have like all the lights, and it's so cool, and it's free. Like there's something like that you would have paid for in the States. It looks beautiful, and they're running it through the month of March all the way to March 24th. Me and a couple of moms are just gonna go downtown. We got our picnic basket and everything ready, and we're gonna have some snacks and things for the kids. We're gonna watch the show and come on back. Friday, I have a birthday party to go to for my daughter's classmate. It's Friday at 5 p.m. Saturday, there's an Easter egg hunt somewhere downtown that an expat is hosting. So it's got a lot of things to do for your family here, which I really love. And although that I am a busy entrepreneur, I always make time for my family. It's easy because there's events to go to. There's things to do. They force you to have time and spend time with your kids. And I love that.
That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. So have you been back? And I know obviously you said you went back initially before officially moving, but have you been back to the US since becoming residents in Mexico? Do you have plans to go back at all?
Well, we went last year, and like again, we stayed. Well, not last year. We went in 2020. What is it? 2022. And so we try to go often to visit like the kids' grandparents and things. We have a family reunion in July, I believe, which I believe we'll go back to New York for. But other than that, I need people to come see me. Like we left. You need to visit me. I've been to the States. You haven't been to Mexico yet. Like you come see me.
Yeah. We said that to our family as well. The last time we were out, we were like, yeah, we're done. Like 5 years, nearly 6 years on the road. You can come and see us now. So I totally get it. I totally get it. When you do go back, do you experience reverse culture shock?
Yes. All the time. I tell my husband it's like going into a time warp. You go and everyone is doing the same thing they were doing 3 years ago when you left, and you're like, you still like you didn't even paint. Like, are you kidding me? You didn't even have a passport yet. Oh my gosh, you know how many people say, "Oh, I can't wait to leave. I want to leave the US. I want to do this." I'm like, "You got your passport?" Well, no. I'm like, it's not hard to get your passport at all, even single moms. I think sometimes we make it more difficult than it is. And that's why I'm here to help you through the process. Like going back to the US is such a time warp and an energy drain for me. I try not to do it unless we absolutely have to.
I feel you. I absolutely feel you. We literally just booked flights out of the UK. We've been back since November 2023, so it's been a few months, longer than I would like to admit, to be honest, since we've been back. We've just booked 2 sets of flights, and I'm like, how long can we extend these for? I'm ready. I'm so ready to be back out again. So that's my aim. Is like, yeah, we got some flights booked out, and I'm gonna see if we might have to turn them into some one-way flights. I can't even lie. I totally get it. I get it. What did your friends and your family think when you told them that you were quitting life in the US? How was that received?
Girl, they all thought I was crazy because before I did all of this, I was working for a company in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a really great company. It was something that I was doing in my field. I did it for 6 years. I was single. It was a good paying job. I actually really enjoyed it until I got to a point where I could no longer be promoted. And my parents are like, "You're gonna leave that job? Like you went to college for it? You spent all that years?" And I'm like, I'm ready to go. 6 years, good for me. They thought I was crazy. And then I enjoyed my life and I came back and they're like, oh, okay, you're good. Then I met my husband. We had kids and they're like, well, are you going to settle down now? I'm like, no. And they're like, we want our grandkids. I'm like, well, you got to come see your grandkids. I'm not going to live around the corner that's convenient for you because you want to see your grandkids and I don't like this lifestyle. So you got to come. So now, because we've traveled so much, my family is like, where are you going next? I don't get the pushback anymore. They already know that they're not suckering me back.
Yeah, they just get it now. They know they know the deal. Yep, same here. I totally get that too. What about in Mexico? Any culture shocks kind of when you first landed or things that you still have to kind of adjust to at all?
Not so much. I mean, only because I've lived in other countries where I've had similar, where the people think, oh, your skin, your hair, things like that. So I told my husband, I said, I think other cultures between you and I think other cultures know something about melanated people that we don't know. Because the reaction that I get from people is just uncanny. People, not in a like weird way, but they're like, I love your skin. I wish I had skin like yours, or I love your hair. I've had abuelas, like older women, come up to my children and bless them. When I used to live in Colombia, the abuela that I lived with, she blessed me every morning before I left her house. She would bless me. And I was just, renting a room from her, but she blessed me every morning. Here, there's an abuela that lives at the bus stop that we pass to go to school. Every morning, she has a snack for my children. She kisses them to have a good day. When we go places, people are like, oh, they're like, mi vida, mi cielo. They're complimenting my daughters, like, oh, my treasure, my life. You're so beautiful and things like that. And at first, it can be standoffish because you're like, ooh, germs and people and my kids. But then you talk to the people and they're like, wow, you're beautiful. Like, I love your people. I love your culture. I have conversations with people because I speak Spanish and they're truly fascinated. The only culture shock that I really had in Merida, no cap, is the Yucatecan food is so different from the Mexican food that we have in the States. When I tell you it's different, it's very, you're not going to get that same burrito that you get in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the Yucatan. No, it's going to be very, very different. And you can take that however you want.
Yeah. No, everything. I completely echo everything you say. And it's so interesting that you just mentioned that point about how you feel that people like Mexican people and not just in Mexico, but just in the world at large, I think, that you're received, because I feel exactly the same way. And I remember when I can't remember which country we were in. I think we were in somewhere in Southeast Asia. No, I'm lying. Sorry. We were in Turkey, and Turkey was a very intense experience for us in terms of the way that we were received. Turkish people generally were very lovely. However, like you, we're used to the stares, we're used to people wanting to take pictures. However, people would almost get offended, and it was like if we said no to pictures, because we don't generally put our children like full faces on social media, so we would say no, and they didn't exactly like that. And they wanted to literally touch my daughter. She's got beautiful curls and they wanted to touch her hair, and we were saying no, and they didn't like that either. And I reflected, I'm a Libra, so I'm all about balance, and I see things from both sides. So I was reflecting on it, and I was like, you know what I think this is like? Because we were trying to wrap our heads around it, and I was like, you know what I think this is like? I was like, imagine you saw God for the first time. Imagine seeing God. Like, I feel like that's what it's like for them. Like, they've heard so much about us, and it's like, well, because when we were in Turkey, we literally only saw one other melanated couple the whole month that we were there. One other couple. So they don't see us very often. So I'm like, we're almost like gods to them. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
this doesn't happen often. It's almost it's awe and wonder to them. When we were in Mexico, I remember, and actually our family was visiting this time, and we just took the kids to the mall, just to the arcades, and this family came up to us, and I can't make assumptions. However, I would say that they didn't look like they had a whole bag of money.
Mhm.
And they came up to us, and my Spanish is upper beginner, but I can
Okay.
make out some things. I can make out some
Yes.
things. Um, and the lady, she was basically like, between myself and my husband, we managed to work out that she was like, they wanted to buy us a meal. And we were
Oh,
like, no, it's okay. Because, like I said, we were kind of looking at them. I was like, I don't know that they have a whole lot of money. I'm not about to take their last few dollars, you know? So
yeah.
we were like, no, don't worry. It's okay. And we had just eaten. We were like, we're full. We don't need any
Right.
food. So we declined politely, and they kind of walked away, and then they came back, and then the two women gave money to the children, to their children, and their children came up to our children and handed them money. And it was like, okay, they won't take the food, but at least take the money that we had.
Right. Take
And
this offering.
like an offering. That's what it felt like. And I didn't want to be rude and say no, because I don't know, we don't know what they're thinking, and how they're processing this. But again, it came to me, and it was like, it's like we're gods. Like, what is this? Like, what?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have the same sentiment. Like it just reminds me of the story in the Bible with the lady who was hemorrhaging all the time. And she's like, if I could just touch the hem
Touch
of his
them.
garment, I will be healed. Just the hem. So I feel sometimes people may, we're not in their minds. Maybe they're like, if I
Yeah,
could touch,
yeah,
could bless, if I
yeah,
could just get close to
yeah,
them. It's
yeah,
never been for me here with my children. It's never been offensive, and it's
yeah,
never been rude. And I have
yeah,
two different kinds of people. I have the people who just come right up and they're bold, but then I also have those people. They're like, please, por favor, can I touch? Please, can I touch? And I'm like, okay, well, at least she asked, type thing. So maybe it is, and then especially when here with this particular country, with the Olmecs, with the Afro-Latino community that has been here, and then also the history between my country and this country with escaped enslaved African people coming down here and having their freedom.
mhm,
Used to us. I think they know the culture is rooted that we have.
yes,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what fascination that they have. I'm here for it though. Like I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not mad. Like I'm gonna tell you now, not to like boast or anything, but my kids are popular in school. Like when we will pull up in my stroller, they're like, Jordan, like we get invited to all the stuff. All I'm telling you, we get invited to everything.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. Yep, same birthday party every week. Yeah, every other week. I get it. Absolutely the same. Oh, but I love it. I love that because I think we hear so much negativity in the news about traveling to Mexico. We hear that it's on the advisory, travel advisory list to do not visit or tread carefully. So it's awesome to hear that you're having positive experiences and challenging that narrative. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
So if you could go back and do your time over, do you think that you would do anything differently?
Mm, no, I think I'd do it the same way. I'd pivot a little bit instead of going back to the States. I just continue
Yeah.
on. That's the only thing that I change because I would say the way my path is now is absolutely perfect for me. Everything is perfect timing.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
What about
And
you with your family? Would you do anything different? As well, I'm curious to know.
I think the one thing there are two things that I would do slightly different, I
Okay.
would say. The first thing is secure that income.
Of course.
Now, we worked out our income along the way
Hmm.
and we made it work, and it's fine. We're still self-employed to this day.
Nice.
Um, However, I do think that it would have been better for us to have secured our income before we left.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure working that out on the go. You know,
Yeah.
thankfully we had savings,
Yes.
so we were able to live off of that while we were building it. And because we had it, we did kind of have it worked out in our heads. So we once we got out, we were able to quickly start making things happen, and we did start making money like instantly. But just to be, I think I would have preferred that we just had it consistent before we left, rather than the trial and error before we left. That wasn't necessarily always fun. So that's one thing that I would definitely say, is securing that income beforehand. The second thing that I would say is we decided to start our journey in Europe, and
Okay.
that was very expensive.
Yeah.
Europe is extremely expensive. I mean, it was strategic because we're from the UK. Spain, where we did start, Spain is literally next door to the UK. So our thinking was, if it went wrong, we could easily get back.
Yep.
One of my husband's brothers lives in Spain as well, so we were like, we got family nearby, and that did come in handy. Actually, we actually had to crash with them for a few weeks, so that worked out well.
Good.
But that start in Europe definitely was more expensive than we anticipated. And
Hmm.
it was actually my idea to start in Thailand.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Um, and had we started in Thailand, like I suggested, then that money would have stretched a lot further. So that's the only thing I could have, like, I love our time that we did spend in Europe, but I could have skipped it, or, we could have moved it to a different point of our journey. So yeah, those are the only two things that I would potentially do again, just to make the transition easier. But no, I generally, it's been I was literally like scrolling through pictures a couple of days ago, and I'm like, wow, what a journey. It's been amazing. And I again, why I'm like, I'm so ready to get back out, because we need to go back on our adventures again. I miss it. I do miss it.
Yes, it's definitely an incredible experience for you, your husband, and the children as well, because it's something that they wouldn't get on their own unless they became an adult and decided to travel.
Yeah.
So you're implementing something that's really great and instilling in them something that's really great early on, which is what my
Yeah.
passion and my dream is for my children.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about that often, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the stories that our children are going to be able to tell when they're older,
Right.
like, wow, look at this life they've been afforded. It's phenomenal. I love that for them, for your children, for our children. I love it. I do.
Yes.
I do. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. So, we've been talking about you and what you do, and this is your shameless plug moment. So tell us where we can find you. You mentioned TikTok. Shout out all the handles and let us know where you are.
Absolutely. You can catch me on TikTok at Taya.Savan, which is my middle name, Savonne. I'll pass that along for you to see. And you can see what a day in the life is like for me and my children. You'll see some of our call center information on there as well. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me by sending me an email at info.travelcoachtaya@gmail.com. I also have a mom's group on Facebook. It's called Moms Moving Abroad, for those who have questions or just kind of want to see what resources that we have on there. Definitely follow our page, chime in, let us know where you want to go, what hiccups that you may have or fears that you may have. There are a lot of resources on my website. travelcoachtaya.com. You can download my free travels guide. You can book a consultation with me. Also, my ebook, Merida Me, talks about how my family and I relocated from the US to Mexico during the pandemic. It's a great ride. Have some good tips and advice in there. So that's me in a nutshell. You know, check us out next week for the workshop on how to be a chat operator, earning that income, trying to live abroad. Have any questions? Hey, reach out to me. I do have time. I will respond. You can booking a consultation if you want that dedicated time with me. You can definitely do that, and I'm here for you.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time, very precious time, I know. We appreciate you so much, and I can't wait for that workshop next week. So yeah, join us if you can. I'm going to link everything in the description. Thanks, family, for joining us. Taya, it was amazing. Appreciate you so much. Family, see you again next time.
Awesome.
Take
Bye, Sam.
Bye-bye.
Adios.